Welcome everybody to another episode of Web Tools TV. And before I turn it over to our guest, I'm going to actually give you some information, and this will be helpful to all of you tool vendors, tool CEOs, tool developers that would like to be featured on Web Tools TV. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm actually making a video so I can send people here. But
Yeah, right on.
and I thought of this because my guest tonight, okay, I got to say his name, and then we're going to come back and let him introduce himself, is Charles Terrence Harper. Yay! And I thought of this because as I was getting ready, I realized we didn't go through the official process with Charles. And why is that? That's because we have our own show, Marketing Momentum, that is going on like 3 years. I mean, Charles is not only a pro at this, he's actually a pro at our system too, so he didn't even need a setup call. But he's the only one with exception because he puts in his time for this, working with Social Web Cafes. So for the rest of you out there, and I will actually post a link in the description of this video, so if you see any of the Web Tools TV videos or even the Social Web Cafe videos, I'll put a link where you can go set up an appointment with the producer of Social Web Cafe. So if you say, hey, I have this great tool, I want to let the world know about it, click on the link, set up an appointment, and we'll walk you through the rest of the steps. Okay, there we go. There's my commercial advertisement for Web Tools TV.
Right, yeah, awesome.
Oh, and the setup call, that's where you get like a mini coaching call, and I'll let Charles speak to if that's valuable. Not, I'm putting you on the spot or anything, but as far as we go through sound, lighting, the content, so we get you all prepared so you are a pro, not as much as Charles, of course, but by the time you get to Web Tools TV. And with that, welcome Charles Terrence Harper. I did say Harper. It came out Harbor.
No, I'm good.
On behalf of I'm going to get this right, Webinar Fusion Pro. Welcome, Charles.
Yes. Hey, welcome. Hey, I'm glad to be here.
Yes, I'm glad to hear. I'm like so enamored to have you here. I talk to you every Thursday. Oh, and by the way, guys, a little commercial advertisement. If you want to watch Marketing Momentum live, we're around 4:30 Pacific time, 7:30 Eastern time on Thursdays. We do a live recording, so you can catch it there too. So back on topic. Now you are a part of the team.
Yeah.
And there are other. I'm going to have you start by introducing yourself and the team members, if you can just reference them, so people get an idea of who it is that's behind the Webinar Fusion Pro.
Yeah. Okay, so obviously I'm Charles Terrence Harper, and I'm going to kind of go through our partners. Jonathan Tang, and he's from Mauritius. There's Lester Lim, and he is from Singapore. Dwayne Golden, who is from Colombia. And then his son, Dwayne Jr., who is from Florida, and his wife's expecting a baby right now. And then there is Jatin Patel, who is our programmer extraordinaire. He is from Mumbai. So that is our team, right? Yeah.
That's a seriously global team.
It is.
How do you do that as far as, like, do you guys all meet up on Skype, or, I don't share any trade secrets, but you have to have a virtual team environment. It's not like you have brick and mortar.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we do everything through Basecamp and Skype. So, and sometimes we're up at 3 in the morning, depending on when we meet. Sometimes, they're up at 3 in the morning. So it just really depends on how and what we're putting together. But yeah, we really do everything through Skype and Basecamp. Wow.
Now your role, I saw somewhere, like you're also the moderator for there's a portion of that's Fusion Pro, I don't know, membership. I forgot what it's called. I just saw it today. And you moderate the forums for that?
Yeah, I'm one of the moderators of the forum of the Fusion Club, and it's really a community that we're building, not just around webinars, but really around marketing and entrepreneurship. So actually, all the guys are going to be coming to the forum, with the exception of the programmer, to really kind of help people wherever they are with their business to kind of take it forward. Obviously, we want them to use webinars and we want them to leverage them, but we're really trying to get into trying to help people where they are to get where they want to go.
Excellent. Now that we've been talking about the product, we probably should tell people what it is, although I think the word webinar kind of gives it away. But if you want to give your 30-second, or what is it, the 15-second elevator pitch.
Right, right, yeah. Yeah, Webinar Fusion Pro is, it is an innovation, right? It's a way to be able to do presentations where you can have the ultimate flexibility. If you want to use audio and slides, if you want to be like a talking head and slides, if you want to be a talking head, if you want to toggle back and forth between all the various mediums, or if you want to do it recorded and then interact by chat live, we are kind of giving everybody the ultimate flexibility in being able to use the web to reach their customers and interact with them. Because I know, for you, that's a big deal, being able to engage. And so we want to be able to give people the opportunity to engage with their customers.
Oh, definitely. And that's, I was noticing working with the tool, I mean, this past week, but also a lot today, that it definitely picks up the pieces that I'm missing in my overall plan. I mean, it's like you thought of everything as far as the tool that's needed for a webinar. Like, Charles, I created a system way back when we started Marketing Momentum where I've got, two parts of my website. You've got what I call the green room, where
right.
people, I post a link there rather than using the Google system as far as, any kind of glitches there, so people know exactly where to go to find the link. And I have the live where people can go and view it. But I noticed that is built in. I was kind of sad. I have to admit, I was sad. I'm looking at this going, but I won't need my system anymore. But it looks really great. I wish I could show it, and you guys will just have to pay attention. We're going to go through a social cafe demo, so you'll see a little bit more in the weeks to come, and you can definitely visit the website, which Charles will tell you at the end of this interview.
Right.
So I was looking at the viewing page, and that looks wonderful. The engagement, I mean, that's what I was going for when I set up my own custom system where I put like the Twitter feed on the side. I looked at chat functionality, and the main reason that I stopped personally was I'm one person, and I may think I'm really that great, but I'm not, as far as being able to watch the Twitter feed and the chat. And
right.
You need a team to be able to do it, but it looks like what Webinar Fusion Pro has on that page is closer to even one person, especially if you've got that pre-recorded option, to be able to handle the engagement.
Right. I mean, the engagement is really kind of one of the focal points that we wanted to really kind of give people the opportunity to do. I mean, it really is. It's about empowerment, right? Because if I can be in Harrisburg and my customers can be all over the world, I mean, it's not just the web experience. It's not just video, and it's not even just a webinar. I need to be able to kind of reach out and touch them to the best of my ability. And as close to real time as I can get it, that's what this tool, we really wanted it to be able to do. We want to use that chat, I mean, as a way of being able to kind of touch the person when they have the question. And that's really what it does. It's the crux of it.
And that's something that, and sorry Google, I'm not meaning to pick on you, but it's something that maybe it's my personality, but as far as it's kind of missing in the Hangout, it's there. There's actually a chat feature, and I've written about it on Hangout Queen as far as like how to use the chat feature, but I never click on that in a Hangout. It seems like there's so many steps, but there's also, as all of you that have used a Hangout know, there's a chat feature inside the Hangout, but none of your audience can see it.
Right. Yeah. And really, it's funny. I mean, I heard a question today being asked about competition, and we don't even believe, we're really excited about everybody who's in the space, whether it's GoToWebinar and all the other folks who are in there, building webinar platforms. Our real competition are people who are intimidated by webinars in the first place. So we're really reaching out to people who want to engage but cannot, and we want to make it as brain dead simple as we can and empowering enough so that people can get in there and say, man, I can now get to my customer and I don't have to worry about the web being in the way. It really is then empowering for me to be able to get into something and do that. Wow,
what you said about competition, I have to like rewind that in my head. Fortunately, you viewers, you can actually rewind it. Oh, that's a really old word. Go back on the YouTube and listen to what he said, because you're actually defining your competition as those people who have not experienced that connection yet.
Right. Right. That's really our competition. We want to be able to empower those people to be able to get to their customer again, anytime, at any place, and not even worried about time barriers, right? Because really the recorded webinar really allows you to displace and shift time so that if you can't be there, right at that moment, you can really be there, with the recording, and if you can get to a mobile device, you can interact with them too if you want to interact live.
Now that chat feature, that does work for people, I don't want to say on the outside, but viewers, right? It's not, in other words, the chat feature on the main page, that's not coming through the Google system. That's actually built into the Webinar Fusion Pro, correct?
It is, right, yeah, and you do have the option of kind of going back through the chat and looking at the comments, right? And so, being able to, and one of the things we want to do in the future is really give you the ability to integrate and to kind of aggregate all that data when people are giving you that information in the chat, because it's valuable. when people are asking you those questions, hey, what is this? What are you selling? Can I do these things? You need to be able to have the ability to kind of look back and see those common words that people are using, because that's valuable information. Right now, you can get that chat information, you can download it, you can look at it, and you even got the ability to email the person based on their comment. So again, we're really trying to put the power back in the hands of the marketer.
That's excellent. And I don't use GetResponse. I pay for it, but I don't use it as much as I should. Abby, I hope you're not listening as I say that. But I noticed, that's built in. Plus, there's a couple. Is Aweber built in? There's different autoresponders built into the system.
They are, right, yeah, and we are going to be publishing the API probably within the next 2 or 3 weeks, so that if you've got, I don't know, SendReach, you got Office Autopilot, and you want to integrate it, you will be able to using that API. So yeah, we've got some really exciting things. We're really not looking to kind of create this and then dump it and run and then move on to the next thing. We're in this space to be there, and then to really, like I said, we're really competing with the folks who don't really use this medium at all.
And you're not limited to just the webinars. I'm just going to take a guess at this, and I don't know how factual it might be the way I think, but I'm thinking the term webinar, maybe 2 purposes. It's easier for people to understand because maybe they participated in watching a webinar. And the other thing too is right now, since it's on the Google platform, you've got that limitation of how many people are within the Hangout.
Right.
Because really, it seems to me that, you know me, Charles, I have like 3 shows a week. I don't do webinars as often as I should, but I do shows, and I think this tool would be great for a web show.
It is, and one of the things, and we kind of met, going back maybe about a couple of years. I did a summit for people who for consultants, right, who are out doing small business consulting. It was probably, honestly, one of the most satisfying things I've ever done online. However, I didn't have the ability to robustly collect, whether you call them leads. I didn't collect email addresses. I didn't really do a good job of getting contact information. And this is one of the things that really we kind of built into the system to give people that ability. If somebody is in the audience is attracted enough to come to your show, you want to be able to contact them again and again. You have to make that easy for people, rather than get a third-party application and kind of do it on the end, or sometimes you can use Zapier and all this other stuff. We just kind of built all that in so that you can kind of collect that information as people come.
And it's a good point as far as I was just thinking the newsletter subscription. Like my system with the dual pages, yeah, you could visit and you'll see a little newsletter subscription and you can fill it out. But hopefully people are so enamored with the show that they actually don't notice it.
Right.
Otherwise, you've got this trade-off. It's like, okay, if they're bored, then they might notice it, but then they probably won't sign up because they're so, silly bored with it. But with your system, actually your system, anyone that buys it with your system, that's a part of it. You register for the event, and granted, you could sign up and then just not. I think we all know pretty much when you get the email at confirm, you just ignore it if you don't want to sign up. So that's already built in. You don't even have to think about it.
Right, yeah. And really and truly, for people who are good at gathering an audience, but maybe not so good at closing the sale, not so good, and maybe you like to build out a relationship, man. And that's me, right? That's me more so than, I've got the folks who are on my team. There are a couple of them that are really good salespeople, really good closers. That's not me. And so we kind of really incorporated a lot of that into what we did. A guy like me can get on, work with the audience, but yet not worry about, hey, sign up for my, using the right words, sign up for my newsletter, sign up now, hit the button now. I might not be able to do that quite right, but I don't have to worry about that with the system, right? Yeah.
It's good. No, that makes a lot of sense as far as, the people that are closers, that's a gift. I don't have that gift at all either.
Right. They can say, hit this button now, and then I could say hit this button now, but yet it works differently for them. So you know what I mean? Right, yeah.
Well, as far as like I can relate. We've talked about music a lot as far as music marketing, and I'll have like 40,000 people streaming my music, but do you think I can convince any of them to take out like $1 to pay for a song? It's like, oh no, right. Let me just send that to you for free. No. So yeah, I need help in that area. Well, the tool. seems like it's got like everything for everybody, if you can say one tool has that as far as related to shows or webinars, but it's almost like you can toggle things on and off. So it's not like you have to go in there and turn absolutely everything on. For
Right.
example, the choice between live and recorded seems like I mean, that's very innovative.
Yeah, and the really thing that I guess I'm excited about is probably one of the little used features, and that is the ability to kind of upload my audio and use it as if it were a webinar. So then I can take any of my old podcasts, any of my old audio, upload it, and then put
Ah,
slides side by side to allow it to play, and then it's almost as if you've got a little presentation there that's really kind of playing for you. So.
oh my goodness, that the whole concept of content repurposing. And then you could have a slide share and actually, I mean, maybe your PowerPoint is within the system, but then you can direct them to the SlideShare version and you can get
Correct.
traffic there. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. I'm way too excited. Wow, the 15 minutes went really fast. And for those of you tuning in that want to know about Web Tools TV, what we do during the show is we get to know the people behind the tool. This is like an overview of this is what the tool is, but also so that you have a chance to get to know the developers, the team, the CEOs, the wonderful Charles. I don't even know what your title is. You're like, it seems like you're the thought processor that catches all the gaps in the tool.
Yeah. I'm not sure where I am in the process. It really has been and is. It's really, I mean, this team of people. I mean, everybody's kind of experienced. Everybody has been, I mean, in business and other areas, and what we've been able to do together, I don't think we've ever would be able to do by ourselves. And so it is an amazing, probably one of the best experiences I've had since I've been online.
Wow, that's incredible. I was just thinking about my whole education, IO psychology, and you just like summed up 2 years of education in one sentence. But yeah. Well, thank you, Charles, for joining us.
No,
And
thank you. Thank you for having
as
me.
as we close out the show, why don't you go ahead and let people know how to find you, how to find the tool. You don't have to tell them how to find you, but how to find the
Yeah,
tool.
yeah. The tools at webinarfusionpro.com, and I mean it's there for you. And I will say, and please, depending on when you're watching this, I don't know, at some point we're going to have to make it so that it is annually priced. I think probably if you're in the 2015, it's probably going to be a one-time fee, but it's eventually going to annual. So. And
See,
again, that's not buy now or it's about no. I'm not saying that, but yeah, it
no, I was
is.
thinking how honest you are. I mean, Charles, you can just see the integrity as far as, you're just honest to saying, hey, gotta let you know. And it's kind of like, gotta feed the family, gotta, on that whole. But people are like, why isn't this free? Why isn't this free? Because the people who are actually developing it do have electrical bills and, pay for their internet and then their food for their kids. We gotta make money at some point. So it's very reasonably priced, by the way. I went out and I was trying to resist the urge and I couldn't. And it's like, just under $100, and for a one-time versus an annual fee or anything, that I couldn't pass that up. And no, nobody paid me to say that, by the way. I am an affiliate. I'll disclose that, but no one paid me to say that.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you again, and we will catch you on another edition that's twice as long in Social Cafe, where we talk about Webinar Fusion Pro some more. And don't forget to tune in on Thursdays to watch us on Marketing Momentum.
Yes.
And again, join us same time, same place next week for Web Tools TV.
Yep. Bye bye, everybody.